Thank you for your interest in the Work Visa Program of the Immigration Act of 2016. The prior programs, such as H-2A, were not satisfactory in providing an efficient application process or a reliable workforce. The aim of this program is to alleviate the problems of the long and expensive application process for both U.S. employers and foreign workers. This program is also centrally focused on giving workers the opportunity to maintain a steady income to provide for their families, as well as encourage education in their home countries to meet the application requirements, provide a safe and supervised work environment, as well as educating workers in their field of study to be able to return and grow industry in their home country. Here we are providing the first short informational video in a series of several videos that will help you understand the process of the program, as well as answer any questions that you may have.
Agriculture loses around 10% of harvests a year due to lack of workers. The most conservative estimate would be that the industry is 20% short of labor a year, and that number is estimated to increase as the industry grows. California alone needs 200,000 workers this year in order to meet the demand for harvest. With the past systems that were in place, there was no way of meeting this labor need. The U.S. required a large-scale immigration reform in order to accommodate the necessity of an agricultural labor force.
The need for labor started in the wake of World War II with the Bracero program. With many of the country's men at war, the Bracero program was established to bring in temporary contract laborers from Mexico to help support and sustain American agriculture. The program lasted from 1947 until 1964, when it was shut down due to political reasons. In past years, immigration reforms have been proposed to meet the demand for labor, but none have been successful. The most recent program, the H-2A program, brought seasonal agricultural workers to the U.S. to work on fields and ranches. This program denied workers their fundamental rights to change jobs because when they arrived, they were tied to certain employers. Through this program, they offered some stability and protection for workers. The rules were very poorly enforced, which is why it is known as the broken system. During his presidency, Ronald Reagan and his administration granted amnesty to illegal immigrants. Our government legalized illegal immigrants who entered the United States before January 1st, 1982, and had resided there continuously. The fundamental conditions of being a U.S. citizen were imposed on the immigrants, but failure to secure the border due to lack of funding caused the plan to fall through and, in turn, caused the number of illegal immigrants to increase. In light of growing need across America for more secure labor force and better approach to the Immigration Act of 2016 was passed to enacted to fix the issue.
The solution to the problem is a three-step integrated plan. The first step accomplished was securing the future of the undocumented immigrants that were working in the U.S. to make a living. Those who proved that they entered the U.S. before January 1st, 2012 were given amnesty. Those who came into the U.S. illegally since January 1st, 2012 were given the option of a 3-year visa after clearing a background check, or were deported. The second step accomplished was increasing border security along with deporting all of those who entered the U.S. illegally and were not granted amnesty. The southwestern border between Mexico and the United States runs approximately 1,900 miles of land and water. In the past, 500,000 undocumented immigrants entered the United States every year looking for work and/or safety. In 2013, the U.S. deported approximately 300,000 illegal immigrants, leaving 200,000 to cross the border successfully. The system of holding and deporting illegal immigrants was reconstructed in order to have less than a week of turnaround time for those who were detained and later deported. The last step was to meet the demand for farm laborers in the U.S. The U.S. embassies in Mexico, Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama operate the visa program from which temporary workers enter the U.S. legally.
The requirements of this visa are as follows. Candidates must be 18 years or older, pass an English or Spanish reading and writing exam at a 9th grade level, pass a physical exam, and after attending a seminar on labor rights, pass a test of the rights granted to immigrants in the U.S. The visa allows for 9 months of work a year in the U.S. for a 3-year period. Visas will only be given out to people who meet the requirements of the Immigration Act of 2016. The workers will be transported directly to where the labor is needed. California agriculture, for example, requires 200,000 workers at any given time. Visas will only be given out until the labor requirement is met in that state. Workers are able to apply for this program at the beginning of every month. Due to the seasonal labor requirements for harvest, the chance of getting a visa may vary depending on the date applied.
Each worker will be transported by bus from their respective country into the United States, where they will be sent to a distribution center in certain counties that require labor. Each worker will also receive transportation home once they have worked the required 9 months out of the year. This transportation and program will be funded by an additional income tax on the incoming workforce of 10%. This allows for safe, efficient, and reliable travel to and from the United States.
An integral part of this program is ensuring and enforcing the rights of all immigrant workers. Once admitted into this program, we will give you a 2-day seminar in which partly will be focused on informing everyone of basic rights and how to get help if they are being discriminated against. In the past, any immigrant workers suffer if they are injured because they do not know their rights. Part of income taxes goes towards health care that all immigrant workers receive free of charge. The minimum wage for all workers will start at the minimum wage plus 10% that is specific to that state. For example, in California, the minimum wage is $9, so the labor will receive $9.90. We will also provide all workers a copy of their rights in their chosen language. This act will also prevent unlawful deportation by an employer. If there is an issue with an employer that requires immediate removal from the grounds, the immigrant worker is to come back to the main office. The issue will be reevaluated before a decision is made. This reevaluation process gives opportunity for workers to defend themselves against unfair accusations. A representative of this program will visit each employer bi-monthly as well as unscheduled visits to determine the state and treatment of all immigrant workers. Securing your safety and your rights are a priority within this act.
When applying for this program, workers must go through a series of tests, the first of which will be a literacy test. In order to encourage all applicants and future applicants to continue their education, all workers must pass an English or Spanish reading and writing comprehension test. The end goal would be that every worker continues their education and soon can pass a United States driving test and be able to obtain a driver's license. This test puts emphasis on having a literate workforce with the goal of ensuring the safety and well-being of all workers and employers.
Along with the literacy test, workers that apply for this program will be given a physical exam. They will be given a standard physical exam by a physician, as well as being required to lift a 50-pound box 10 times within 60 seconds. In order to ensure safety and well-being to workers as well as a fair workforce for employers, only those that pass the physical exam will be allowed to continue on the application process for the Immigration Act of 2016.
I hope this video was very informational. You may now ask your proctor any questions that you have. We look forward to helping you through the application process. Thank you.